Last week I was 8-3, and since Michigan lost to Michigan State, I am no longer predicting Big Ten games. Anyway, here is here is Thursday's epic. Nebraska at Missouri. I like Missouri's high-powered offense, so I'm going to pick them to win. Next up, the ACC Georgia Tech at Florida State. This week, the news is all about Bobby Bowden, whether he should step down or not. I personally think he should, but I know he's probably not going to step down. Georgia Tech, though, has one of the underrated coaches named Paul Johnson. Yes, he assisted here in Hawaii. That's another part of the reason why I like Paul Johnson. And I think Georgia Tech is better than Florida State because Florida State doesn't have a defense. So I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. Next up, Oregon at UCLA. It's Oregon's biggest test besides the Boise State game. Do you know why? Because it's on the road. It's their second road game. So far, they are 0-1 on the road, but they've looked phenomenal at home. Now, UCLA, I think, is a pretty decent team that people underrate. However, I think Oregon still wins this game. It's going to be close. Next up, Alabama at Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss lost to South Carolina. It wasn't pretty. Alabama has looked really, really, really impressive. So I'm going to go with Alabama. Next up, the game we're all watching, Florida at LSU. Now, the big question mark is Tebow. But still, even without Tebow, I still think Florida will win because LSU's offense is not very good. Next up is Georgia, the team that got robbed last week on that unsportsmanlike conduct play. That was a terrible call. J.A. Adande went off on that. He was right. I cannot stand when teams lose because of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. I feel really bad for Georgia. I ended up hating Georgia after they killed Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl, but now I'm showing lots of sympathy towards them. And Tennessee, I picked them to beat Auburn last week. That was one of the 3 games I got wrong. Tennessee is just not good. I overvalued them a lot. And yes, I'm going to go Georgia with this game. And finally, Auburn, who's ranked number 17 at Arkansas. Auburn, yes, they've been pretty impressive. Their offense is a lot better now since they do not have Tommy Tuberville as their coach. Well, Arkansas has a great offense too. It's going to be a high scoring. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to go with the upset there. Arkansas wins. So those are my predictions for the week 6 of the college football season.